most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning.
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, this is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
He's crashing. He's checking.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
You bet. What's that? Don't be scared of it.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. And that's complete to Adams. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This crew against the pass, it's been a real struggle. Second from the bottom in the NFL, number 31.
Theories abound. People have opinions. But too often for this team this season, it's been the big play that's done them in.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Adams has it complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they They'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Cousins is complete to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Check right.
They'll run on 1st down. Mack. He will push his way down to about the 14.
Oh, yeah.
Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Now Cousins. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get him down short of the 1st down, right on the 10-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
I know teams always talk about having a 24-hour rule after a game, and eventually we end up rolling our eyes. But it works both ways, right? 24 hours if you win, 24 if you lose. But, boy, it's a fun 24 when you win the game. And you win NFC Offensive Player of the Week, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Ready? 180. Check. 42's the mark. There you go. Watch the pass. 20. 80. Watch out. Check. 80.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things off.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
You ain't going nowhere. Wait. 42, 42.
Now Newton on the move to his left. He'll run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. From the 50, Newton. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
On second down, Cook. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another first and 10.
Here we go, 50, Mike 50. All right, here we go, let's go.
The shotgun snap for Newton. Buying time to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively, because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
They'll try again from the 36 on second and 10. To throw again. Newton. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Let's get off the field. 20.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On fourth down, Mike Vrabel says, let's get 3 out of this. He sends on the field goal unit. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5 now. Cousins. It's caught here by Adams. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Caught by Jones. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. They'll run the screen with Mack. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. On 2nd down now, it's Cook, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Slant.
From the 39, Newton eluding the pressure right. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. Mike's 42. I got you.
On 2nd and 9, Newton open here, Adam Thielen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ready? Ready?
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Play action. It's Newton. Rolling to his right. His throw incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
What's that? Right to the 3. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll run with Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up third and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Newton on third and goal. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports.
Come on.
On 2nd down, it's Mack. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. He completes it to Bryant. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. First catch for Bryant. He's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. Now Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son.
They'll run it. It's Mack. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now here's Ross. Fighting his way through contact. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. You see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. On 1st down, Cook. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Gun. Mike's 50. Hey, watch the screen.
Out of the gun, Newton. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
To throw on third down. Newton got his man there. It's Wallace, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Newton now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd and 9, Newton, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
How about that one? The so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. From the gun, here's Newton. He wants it all for the end zone. And that is caught, but the bank judge right there to say incomplete. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was... prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. Now a pass caught by Zay Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Ross on the return. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Off play action. Newton sliding out of the pocket. He's able to find Wallace. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton. They'll find Metcalf. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
20.
Mike 42, Mike 42. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
Throwing is Newton. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. They'll run for it with Henry. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A drive that time of 6 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. So we got man.
Here's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 18. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Kill. Turn up.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Check. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Let's get out the field.
From the 50, Newton. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Newton to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Third and long, it's Newton. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cook following the penalty. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. With that run, double check my math. Yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
They come out here in the eye. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On the carry, it's Cook. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 2nd and goal, Newton, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Cam Newton with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Cam Newton now getting his guys ready to go for the 2-point try. Here's Newton. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He completes it to Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing, Cousins. They'll run the screen with Mack. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
We got three.
On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. That time it was a drag route, and they were in man defensively. So if the quarterback has good protection, that's hard for a defender to hang on to, isn't it?
It is, because you're constantly chasing. And also those schemers on offense, what they're really good at doing is pushing routes deep, make sure that they're covered and respected, and then finding a mismatch underneath. Get your guy in a drag route, hopefully against a linebacker, a slower safety, someone who can't stay with him, and just run him across the field into a nice completion.
Derrick Henry, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where it was the visiting Dolphins who come away victorious on the road. Kenyon Drake leading the way on the ground there. We'll stay in the NFC South as we head over to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting New England Patriots. Michael Thomas, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. And then one more to highlight, Monday Night Football. That'll be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Jacksonville Jaguars. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. His guys have just about put this one on ice already. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
We want it. Come to
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
set. 180.
Single, slot. Hey,
now a first down throw for Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
you must be dreaming. Delta. 42's the mic. Check.
2nd and 10. Newton again. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A toss to Cook. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ready. Let's get it.
Let's go defense. Let's go defense. And here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And Diggs has it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It's 2nd and goal. Back to the 8-yard line now. Newton now to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Point after try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A 10-play drive that time, and it's polished off by a Vikings score. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
You ain't doing nothing today.
They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Gun.
Check, 42's the mic. Check, 42's the mic. I'm coming for you. You mine. Hey, check 24. Hey. Switch it.
From the 30 on second down, Newton flushed out right, and he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Coming right, this is Cook on the toss play. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. And he will take this all the way down to the Packers' 30. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now Cook. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Preston Smith, his second sack of the night.
Enough to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Light 42. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? Hey! What you got, Heavy? Give me some.
Out of the gun, Newton. He's got his man. That's Wallace. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Four down. Mike 50.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. This is caught, and he's brought down. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So it's challenge time. The referee's tablet coming out. And the big question, Charles, did that football break the plane to the goal line?
They just need any part of the ball to cross the goal line in order for it to count. Remember, it's got to be indisputable, though. Sometimes we think it's going to be there. We can't really find it on the tablet. So we'll see what the final call is going to be.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Right to the 3.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go for it.
On second down, it's Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the night as his guys continue to pour it on. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They go right back to Mack. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Mack. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Jahan, 180!
55, Mike. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Cousins now from the 50. He's got Adams on the hookup. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Mack. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes is won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
To throw, Cousins. This complete to Jones. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll go again here with Mack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs. Kill, kill, kill.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Gay knocks this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Rush in. Joker. 20. Joker. Check 50. Check 50.
Cook. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
That's it. 180.
50's to Mike. Oh, you got deep? Mike 50, Mike 50. Right here. Mike's
Great.
Watch the pass. Short.
Here it goes.
Newton on first down. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
All day. I'm here all day. Hey, switch gears.
8.
A first down carry for Henry. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All day, dude. All day. Mike's 42. No chance.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
On first down, Newton. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Mike's 50. Go. Hey, check Mike.
Now it's Newton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Let's get out the field, defense.
Running for it, here's Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Cousins now. Bryant has it.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. That last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
What's that? Right there.
He can't hang. He's not going to give me.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To throw is Newton. He's able to find Wallace. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
Watch the boot. 42 the mic, boys, 42.
Gun.
Watch the curl, watch the curls.
What do you?
Mike's 42, Mike's 42. Don't let him breathe.
What do you?
To throw again on second down. Newton. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. It's John Simon with a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Vikings on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Hey, 50 the mic, 50 the mic. They can't.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. First target, first catch, and a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
20.
Hey, check 24.
They run. Cook. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Come on, D.
From the red zone now, Newton. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Newton now to throw. The quick slant caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jared Cook scoring a touchdown against his former mates as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Now the try here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there. Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going. I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now out comes Minnesota. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, you know, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen. It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday. Which was also impressive. Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along? Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it? I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. They run again on 1st down, Cook. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Preston Smith there on the stop. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top. They'll try the right side with Henry. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter. And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The extra point up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He completes this one to Mack. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now it's Mack, draw play. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Cousins, complete to Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. On 1st and 10, Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Cousins. Open man is Uzomah. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Throwing, Cousins. Got an open man, that's C.J. Uzomah. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Here's Cousins.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So kind of a tough break there. No real hook or slice to that one, but he's denied by the upright.
And he basically hits it just straight as an arrow. But yeah, since he's on the hash mark to begin with, straight as an arrow isn't good enough.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
20. 42's 42's the mic. Greg. I'm coming.
Throwing here, Newton. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Okay, 780.
42's the mic. Stop your whining. Hey, Mike.
Now Newton on first down. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Boom! Yeah, baby!
4 receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5.
Gun.
Mike 42. Mike 42. Check. Mike 42. Man, I got you.
Newton to throw. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.